pages 91 and 92, Rules for Differentiation, Finding the Derivative of the Natural Exponential and Logarithmic Functions. Okay, so the differentiation rule for the natural exponential functions, so e to the x, goes as followed. The derivative of e to some function is equal to e to that function times the derivative of that function. Okay, so when it comes to finding the derivative of e to anything, you're basically rewriting that e to the whatever function, and then you're finding the derivative of that function in the exponent. So we are going to do the left-hand side of this worksheet. Okay, so e to the sine of x will be equal to find the derivative, e to the sine of x, so I'm repeating it, and then times the derivative of sine x, sine x. So we have cosine x e to the sine x as our final answer for the derivative. 3e to the 2x, right? So 2x is the function that I need to find the derivative of. Derivative of 2x is 2. So the derivative of f of x will be equal to 3e to the 2x times 2. So our final answer is 6e to the 2x. And then our last problem on this page is x squared e to the 2x. So for this problem, we have to use product rule in order to figure out that x squared times e to the 2x. Those are our two separate functions. So this is function number 1, and function number 2. So according to product rule, we need to take the derivative of our first function, which will be 2x, multiply that by our second function, which is e to the 2x, and then add to that our first function, which is x squared, and the derivative of our second function. So e to the 2x will turn into e to the 2x times 2, because we need the derivative of that 2x. So the derivative of f of x is equal to 2x e to the 2x plus 2x squared e to the 2x. All right, so the right side of this worksheet, still very similar, right? Our first problem, we're going to use the derivative of e to any function. And then for the second two problems, we're going to need a couple more rules. So for that second problem, you're going to need product rule. And for this problem at the bottom, you're going to need chain rule. Okay, so you'll use those rules to help you find the derivative for those three functions. Now on to the next page, we have function e to the 5x divided by 3x squared. So for this problem, we are going to need the quotient rule. Right, so my I function is e to the 5x, which we know the derivative of that will be e to the 5x times 5, which is just 5 e to the 5x. And then our denominator, which is our whole function, is 3x squared, which we know the derivative of that will be just 6x. So when we do our quotient rule to find f prime of x, we need OD high, so 3x squared times 5e to the 5x minus Heidi Ho, so e to the 5x times 6x all over whole squared. So 3x squared squared. When we simplify, we get 15x squared e to the 5x minus 6x e to the 5x all over 9x to the 4th. And from that, we can factor out a 3x e to the 5x from both terms of the numerator, which will give me 5x minus 2 over, and then 9x to the 4th, sorry, can be rewritten as 3x times 3x cubed. The 3x's will cancel out, and we'll be left with e to the 5x minus 2 all over 3x cubed. All right. The last rule that we're going to look at today is the differentiation rule for natural log functions. Okay, so for ln functions. So the derivative of natural log functions is equal to the derivative of the inside of that log function, that natural log function, and then the over the inside of that natural log function. So we're going to do the two problems on the left once again. So our first problem is f of x equals ln of 2x minus 3. Right, so this is the inside of that log function, so we need the derivative of that, which will just be 2. So f prime of x will be equal to the derivative, which is 2, over the original, which is 2x minus 3. Right, and then down at the bottom, we have the f of x is equal to ln of cosine x. Cosine x is the inside, the derivative of cosine x is negative sine x. So the derivative of this function is equal to the derivative, which was negative sine x, all over the original, which is just cosine x. And sine over cosine, we know is tangent, so negative tangent x is our final answer. All right. What I want you all to do is now to use that same idea on the right side of the functions, remembering that for the second problem, what's inside the ln function is square root of 2x minus 4, right? So this is the ln of 2x minus 4 to the 1/2, right? So when you're taking the derivative of what's inside the ln, you have to be taking the derivative of 2x minus 4 to the 1/2, which you'll need chain rule to do. And that's the end of this video.